This is the movie report at CinemaCon, written by Michael DeKeen.
Most of the opening Monday at CinemaCon 2024 was, per long-standing tradition, devoted to the international motion picture exhibition industry. The very first event of the week, the International Day Breakfast, did not deviate from the format that had been established in the first post-COVID year of 2022. A self-serve breakfast, and a pair of keynote addresses zeroing in on non-North American markets. Following reels by breakfast sponsors DTSX and GDC Technology, Eric Mayneal, Chief Box Office and Marketing Officer of the Belgium-based Kinepolis Group, delivered the exhibition-centered keynote. 2023 was a record-breaking year for the chain, which spans over 100 cinemas in Europe and North America. He attributed this to various innovations that were adopted, from upgraded technology formats, seating, and amenities, to expanded event cinema offerings and studio-partnered social events. However, his address was not all rosy, for he made the week's first mention of the writers' and actors' strikes that put a halt to production for months, and thus is causing an expected shortfall in exhibition product from the studios for the year. The studio representative delivering the annual distribution keynote, Universal's International Distribution President Veronica Kwan Vandenberg, did not, however, mention the strikes nor any other possible future roadblocks. She instead focused on the present and the optimism generated by ongoing post-pandemic global box office recovery, and how the top 3 grossers of the year were original films, not based on previously existing film IP. Naturally, she emphasized Universal's key contribution to the 31% box office growth in 2023. Hit titles such as Oppenheimer, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Megan, and Five Nights at Freddy's. She stated that her studio should continue to help the growth trend with an eclectic slate of upcoming releases from top-level talent. The breakfast closed with the Award of Excellence in Cinema, presented to the legendary Paris venue, Le Grand Rex, which is celebrating its 90th anniversary. Family-owned since its opening, Le Grand Rex boasts the world's largest auditorium and is famous for its 15-minute pre-film water show. The award-giving continued at the International Day lunch. Following introductory remarks by the event's host, Damien Keogh, CEO of Hoyts Group, and Michael Archer of Dolby, one of the event's sponsors, a representative for another sponsor, Comscore, handed out the first trophy. Their Vice President of Latin America, Luis Vargas, handed out the International Box Office Achievement Award to Universal Pictures International. Accepting on the studio's behalf was the morning's breakfast keynote speaker, International Distribution President Veronica Kwan Vandenberg, and Executive Vice President and Managing Director Neil Svinkels. Tony Chambers, Head of Distribution at Walt Disney Studios, handed out this year's Passepartout Award to an executive at one of his company's labels, Searchlight Pictures. Rebecca Keary, Executive Vice President and Head of Business Operations and International, received this award, which is given to an industry executive who demonstrates dedication and commitment to the international marketplace. Paramount Pictures President of International Distribution, Mark Vion, presented the Global Achievement in Exhibition Award to the South Korea-based chain CJCGV. Accepting the award was Dong-Hyun Lee, the Chief of Business Innovation Officer. Jane Hastings, Managing Director and CEO of EVT Event Cinemas, which won that award last year, gave out the first talent-focused trophy of the week, International Career Achievement in Filmmaking. This went to her fellow Aussie George Miller, director of this summer's Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Following the award presentation, Miller sat down for an insightful fireside chat with Andrew Cripps, international distribution head of Furiosa's studio, Warner Bros. The evening session at the Caesars Palace Coliseum, and thus CinemaCon proper, was kicked off on an especially classy note with the debut of NATO's new short video series, Behind the Screens. Faces of Exhibition, which takes a look at the people who work in various positions at movie theaters nationwide. With the true purpose of this convention, bringing together exhibitors, often obscured, if not downright hidden in most coverage by the parade of celebrities and first-look film footage, this was a nice way to bring home, literally and figuratively, those who really matter this week. Emmeline Stewart, owner of the community-focused Stewart Cinema in Brooklyn, appeared on stage following the showing of her episode, which nicely set the stage for the theme of CinemaCon Managing Director Mitch Neuhauser's opening remarks. Clad in a Barbenheimer-inspired pink suit and fedora getup, he stated that the week was all about positivity and forward thinking, especially given the encouraging early-year box office numbers. After a sizzle reel and speech from Jong Ryol Kim, CEO of the evening's sponsor, technology company CJ4D Plex, Jim Orr, Universal's president of domestic distribution, introduced the feature presentation, a screening of the studio's upcoming romantic action comedy The Fall Guy, inspired by the 1980s television series. Neither stars Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt nor director David Leitch were on hand for the screening, but positive vibes from the film carried over to the day's final event, the opening night party, which, per the norm, was held at Omnia nightclub. For film reviews and more, please visit TheMovieReport.com. Also follow me at 2Trey23 on Instagram and at 2Trey23 on Twitter.